国家经济嘅主要来源係其實歐美觀光客嘅比利時，現正經過為英國嘅出面，附近嘅國家單單都是去西班牙嘅殖民地，嗰種人民自細就接受為英文同西班牙語嘅教育，安尼就唔會同世界脫節。不過，比利時本土派嘅人士未受騙嘅，係講國家嘅官方語言係歐美主流語言，係好也係壞。本土嘅文化又會受到乜嘅影響？沙地就聽定客家新聞嘅採訪團隊，向下來去了解。
90前，古里斯沙奇小學嘅學生，教文化語言入到加利湖南人生活嘅方方面面。莫看言教學充實作用嘅，教坊大拍講促進文化做現團撐嘅，就連學教學生對自家嘅母語跟文化都冇過了解，從開弄嘅見教見學，韓國同事之間相互學習，韓家冇正規嘅母語師資培訓，喺比利時一下少數族群產生獨到嘅困難之一。
Within the formal education system, it is also worth noting that we need a lot of training for the teachers, right? It's teaching tradition, teaching worldviews, especially the indigenous ones.
The teachers aren't equipped to teach because if you say something in Garifuna and it is not correct, they cannot say why it is wrong because there aren't studies of the language.
一下嘅母語學生該難心，學者觀察，跟比利時長久以來實施嘅語言跟教育政策有關。打開比利時天機嘅家課程方向，第一官方語言英文，跟第二非官方語言嘅西班牙文，係兩大課程方向。馬伊比亞呢學者分析，一下嘅語言政策係講21世紀網絡發達、資訊傳播嘅國家，現時台嘅學生人學西方知識更加之趕早文夾，不過同時馬家嘅同化，甚至識貼本地嘅文化。
What's the impact of Western media on culture? So in our communities, we're living it. Like, for example, I am not dressed in any traditional wear.
The National Institute for Culture and History, NICH, and the whole purpose and objective of NICH is to promote and preserve our history and culture. We have a lot of programs and policies that were established under NICH.
So you think the government didn't launch any policy and law to protect your language and culture?
There isn't, I would say so far no law per se. And while there is a cultural policy, there isn't a language policy. And we are in the process of conversation with government for that.
當我睇住民族嘅比利時，好缺呢嘅家都係講西班牙文，係家嘅主要經濟來源觀光業，因為呢嘅旅客就徛超過一半。體驗關係係家經濟一個因素，用主流語言係比利時不得不愛接受嘅語言。
For Belize, obviously, we are a small country and a small population. An important part of tourism is culture, cultural tourism. People come to Belize to see our grand or beautiful Mayan sites.
語言政策喺講天下來就主導嘅國家南北嘅方向。就比利時嘅疫情來看，西方強勢語言跟比利時推向極致，不過減少為本土語言空間。就算係呢，要想去傳承比利時本土文化嘅團體，係一件強調冇文化嘅重要。可以講，為啲自家嘅人口好好當見，能做嚟睇嘅之項奇才腳譜。客家新聞，潮津陳玉嫻，比利時報道。